you are joining in from. I am Esegina Brima, and I hope that we are doing good today. Before I pull up my slides and we get all serious with life, right? I want to know, where are we? What's happening? This is like weekend. Are we at home, or are we about going out, or are we kind of having fun with our friends and all of that? Guys, I want us to have a soft landing before we get all serious to today's session. So I need responses in chat, guys. What's happening? What's happening? I want to know what's happening. Had enough time to rest. That's from Favor. That's good. That's awesome. Rest is very, very necessary. Let me just pull up my slides. I have like 50 persons on this call. Oh, on the move, driving home. Nothing much, just relaxing. Okay, so that's good. Let me just pull up my slides and we'll be good to go. All right. So confirm that you can see my screen. Hello, can we hear me? Can we hear me? Confirm that we can see my screen clearly. Awesome, awesome. So before we proceed and then have, let's say, introductions for the rest part of this program, right? This topic is very, very crucial to me, like how you can move from a non-tech background into tech by mastering high demand skills, because this is something that has affected me. All right, that's my own personal experience when I was transitioning from my own degree, right, to being a tech professional. So guys, I want to know, before we get all serious, I want to know, are there persons in the chat? Do you have like a CS degree, or what did you study? That will be the baseline for our discussion today. I want to know what you read while you were in school, because I want to understand the demography of persons that we have on this call, so I know that I'm tailoring all of the strategies that I have today towards you. So I need responses. Oh, I can see. Why do we have a lot of economics on this call? Economics, biomedical technology. That's nice. Computer science, prime computers. I don't think you're meant to be on this call, but I'm kidding. So I can see psychology, zoology, agricultural economics. I can see sociology. I studied computer science. Abayomi, I think we'll kick you out of this call, but I'm actually kidding. Guys, I need more responses, because I need to understand the demography of persons that we have on the call before I proceed. Recall our topic, as you can see on my slides, is how you can move from a non-tech background into tech by mastering high demand skills. I want this session to be very, very interactive. And the only way that is going to work is when I ask a question, there's like a feedback. Because as a data professional, you need to understand what is going on, understand the problem that you are trying to solve, so you can better prefer solutions. So I've seen sociology, zoology, biochemistry, agricultural economics, computer science, and all of that. But I want you to take note of the key points that I will be providing for you in this session. Guys, this session is very, very necessary, because even if, like, irrespective of the stage you are in your career, this is something that I have personally experienced, and I am very, very passionate, because I see this happen all the time, and I'm so annoyed. Your background doesn't really matter. So there's like a gap, right? It's not really connected. What you need to do is you just taking the necessary steps to what? Fill up that gap. All right, so moving to my next slide. And I am Baima. I am the head of internships here at Amdari. In simple terms, what we do at Amdari. Let's say you're a data professional, and then you've learned, if it's data science, data analytics, cyber security, data engineering, and all of that. You're done with learning, right? There are a lot of learning platforms out there. So what you want to do now is or rather, there's a gap between your current knowledge and what industry standards are. Okay, you can finish learning cybersecurity or data analytics, and then you see a job description that requires you to have, let's say, 3 years experience. They require you to have a lot of tools, and then you're like, come on, I just started learning. So that is what we do at Amdari. So we try to fill in that gap. All right. We give you an opportunity to learn working on real hands projects. So our vision is to revolutionize the way people acquire industry knowledge and experience. That is just the sole goal of what we do at Amdari. In simple terms, we help you go from being just a conventional newbie that just graduated from a training program to acquiring in-depth skills. Moving to my next slide. Now, how you can move from a non-tech degree or background to a tech background by mastering high demand skills. I want to ask, I know some persons have economics, some persons have, let me go back to the chat and see, I saw biochemistry. Gosh, I hated chemistry back in uni, so I'm sorry. I believe that was from, who again? That was from Nike. I want to see, do you think it's possible to transition effectively to becoming a top-notch professional, right? Coming from a non-technical background at all. Do you think it's possible? Guys, I need our responses. If you think it's possible, I need a yes in the chat. If you think it is not, I need a no, 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 no in the chat. Guys, recall I mentioned that this has to be very interactive. For you to grow or for me to effectively communicate with you, all right, I need your responses in the chat. Everybody's saying yes, yes, yes. I need somebody, I need a protagonist to come and say, no, it is not possible. You need to have a CS degree, else, nothing else. All right, I need that person in the chat. I need more responses, guys. What do we think? What do we think? I can see, yes, it is. I can see, yes, it is very possible. I can see with the right information, it is possible. I can see from Grace, knowledge is power. So coming back to my slide, let's not go through corners. All right, so I'm going to be direct with you. From my own point of view, from my own experience, it is 100% possible. So I can see computer science guys, you're not supposed to be on this call, but I'm kidding though. Then I can see civil engineering from Afiz. Oh, that's nice. That's related to my grad school degree. Then I can see our responses as regards with the right information, it is possible. And guys, I would be sharing my tips. You know, in life generally, experience is the best teacher. I'm being frank with you. So based off my own experience, I would communicate the steps, the strategies I took. And if you can follow these strategies step by step, trust me, there's nothing that you will not achieve in this tech space, except if you're the one not intentional about putting in the steps. Okay, so coming back to my slides, let's proceed. Now, this is me, all right? Yes, this is my real face, okay? My name is Brima, as I mentioned earlier, and I read structural engineering in my undergraduate degree. That's when I saw, when Afis typed in civil engineering, I was like, wow, that's nice. My major was in structural engineering. And for a fact, I was the best graduating in my own department. But I had a scenario whereby, because then my site was at Adiola Odeko. I don't know if you know that area in VIA. And then we had to come to work, and then there was sun, and then we had to, there were times whereby they will be casting or drilling piles, and then you have to stay over at night and then work. Trust me, it was not, trust me, I was not this fair. You can see how dark I am. Right? This was my scenario then, and it was tiring. And the fact that you are a lady, so I did not want to be or come with the vibe that, oh, because I'm a lady, they need to excuse me, I need to go home early, and for security reasons and all of that. I was very, very intentional, right, and deliberate about putting in my work and monitoring what our workers on site were doing. But there was a period where I just had a mind shift. I saw an ad, I saw a message as regards, oh, you can leverage tech skills and become a professional and live and just pull yourself out of this entire stress. Don't get me wrong, engineering is awesome. Civil engineering, structural, and then in terms of building is wonderful. It's exciting how you can just transfer what you have, what you've designed on your PC, all right, to the ground. But long term, I knew that this was not sustainable for me. That's not what I want for myself. And that is how I moved on from where? From being in structural engineering to becoming a data scientist. Guys, again, literally, I didn't read computer science in school. I had no business with computer science. Yes, we had, let's say, one course back in uni that gave us like the basics of computer science in terms of the hardware and the operating systems, but that was it. My main focus back in uni was just on, let's say, AutoCAD, Prota, and all of the civil engineering softwares that we had then. I had no business with coding, with each of the analytics visualization tools. I had no business at all. Remember at the beginning of this session when I mentioned I am very, very passionate about this topic because it has played out in my own life. Right? Because back then, when I would be trying to look at charts, look at code, and probably draw insights from data, it's almost as if I was the outlier in school back then. All right, because everybody's trying to do something relating to civil, and then there's me trying to learn how to become a data scientist. So I always say this: if I could do this, if I could move from structural engineering entirely to data science, you don't have a choice. So all of those fallacies, opinions, in fact, in quotes, unsolicited opinions from persons as regards, oh, you need to go back to school. Without going back to school, you're not qualified and all of that. No, that is flawed. That is invalid as far as I am concerned. So this is me. I am Esegina Brima. I currently lead the internship experience here at Amdari. I'm the head of internship, and I've had experiences as regards data analytics, data science, artificial intelligence, working on projects involving geospatial analysis, that's in terms of geosemantics. And I am the proof that you can move from being just whatever your degree was. If it was economics, like from what we mentioned in the chat, economics, I saw some CS guys. That's why I was just eyeing the CS guys we have on the call. I saw biology, psychology, all of that. Guys, remember I mentioned I will be giving you the key steps and key strategies I utilized, which you can translate into your everyday lives to achieve this state of mastery. Next slide. All right, so now, do I have 20 years of experience? Nope. Again, did I study data science back in uni? Trust me, I schooled in Nigeria. I don't think data science was a degree, or we even had, okay, probably there was like a little bit of orientation about, let's say, data science by those persons that were more, let's say, exposed, right? But then again, there was no undergraduate degree, data science back then when I was in school. So nope, I did not have 20 years of experience in quotes, because some persons think that for you to transition into a tech skill, you have to spend a lot of time and you have to spend years, okay, to achieve that goal. And I need you to start destroying, in quotes, all of those opinions that you have in your mind, because that's what's stopping your growth as a data professional. Now, big question, what did I do? I know some persons in their minds, they might be asking, oh, Brima, how did you do this? How did you move on from your previous degree? You didn't have like a CS degree and all of that. That CS means computer science degree. How did you effectively move on to becoming a data professional? That is what I will be giving you on this call. And guys, if you are distracted, I need you to jot things down. Okay? I need you to be serious. This session is just going to last an hour or 1 hour, 30 minutes, and we are done. All right. Everything that I am going to share is for you to get better. So I need a reaction from us if we are good to go. Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? I need a one in the chat. I need a sticker or an emotion. Guys. I need more responses. Are we good to go? I think it's just Ibitoye. That's the correct pronunciation. It's just Ibitoye that is my guy on this call. Everybody else, right? You're not with me on this call, but regardless, I will proceed. And the point that I'm going to share is going to enter you, or it's going to reside in you by force. So coming back to what we are doing today, basically, in summary, I will be providing you with the steps that I utilized. So I'm seeing more responses. Thank you very much, guys. And then your pathway to becoming a professional. I'll be sharing about the Amdari work experience, guys, and also a special offer from us here at Amdari. So let's proceed to my very first key strategies I used to move from a non-tech background into tech. Again, I mentioned that I am very, very passionate about this topic because it annoys me a lot when people say this is not possible. The very first thing, guys, this is basic knowledge. I need you to find a high demand tech skill. In 2024, or we're moving into 2025, you cannot go and be learning MATLAB. MATLAB, I know I did that back in when we had that engineering program course one time. That was like, I think that was in 200 level. And then we're doing MATLAB. Come on, this is 2024. I don't know, except if you want to do research or you're in academia, I don't know where you're going to apply that into. So there are some skills that in this century, in this domain, with the trend as regards artificial intelligence, with the trend as regards, there's so much data being generated, and then companies want to draw insights from their data, they want to regulate this, they want to safeguard this, they want to streamline their pipelines and processes. There are some skills that are not necessary at all. They are not in demand. And you can see my notes here. In a world of so much change, learn the skills that matter. Take that as a best advice from me. All right. Try to learn the skills that matter, not just in terms of your hard skills, but we have your soft skills also. In terms of you're working on a team, you will need to know how to communicate in terms of presentation, in terms of how you can effectively communicate insights or the status of your project or whatever you're working on. And there's something that Amdari did that really, really amazes me. Okay. What they did was they went to different job sites. You can see LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, Total Jobs, Monster, Google, and all of that. And then they collected data as regards jobs that are on demand. And the whole essence of this is we are a data-driven organization. All right, so based off that data, they had three factors. That's three key metrics that they used in analyzing or separating, in quotes, picking out those skills that are high in demand. So the three metrics, we can see them here: ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and then, in quotes, high/rewarding salary. If you're on this call, you know that the whole essence of you trying to transition is for a better life, rather. Okay, you don't want to keep earning the same money you want or be in the same standard of living. So these are the key metrics that we used in picking out these jobs. And guess what? Through our analytics and all of that, we discovered that business analysis, your agile project manager, data analytics, data scientist, data engineer, cybersecurity analyst, financial analyst, HR analyst were like the top jobs that were in demand, guys, based off the research that we carried out as an organization. Now, there's one key thing you need to learn as a data professional. When you are working on a project or when you are trying to, most times in surveys, you need to, when you've gotten your results, or in research, naturally, when you've gotten your results, you need to do literature review, right? You need to compare that results you have to standards to ensure that, you're not going out of scope. You're not like a complete outlier. All right. And that's something that you should do when you're working on projects. So don't just, when you get your results, don't just, let's say, generalize and say, 20% of the population did this. No, it doesn't work that way. That's why you have your stakeholders or your consultants that you need to communicate to, and then they'll give you feedback on the way forward. So now, guys, in evaluating the research that we carried out, guess what? Next slide. My next slide. Yes. So this is a report that was carried out by the Future of Jobs Work. It was carried out by the World Economic Forum as regards the future of jobs in 2024. And this is what 2024. But this research was spanning 2023 to 2027. And what can we see? Projected job creation, blue. Then displacement, purple. That's jobs that would not really be relevant in 2023, between 2023 to 2027. What can we see? Let's just go. Let me just proceed with my slides. I really don't know why this is affecting me, but regardless, we'll proceed, guys. Just give me a moment. Guys, are we still on this call? Have we learned something from the beginning? I know that you're waiting for the next steps. You're eagerly waiting. But the very first point I mentioned was what? Get what is in demand. All right. So now, moving forward, what can we see? We highlighted them for you so you can clearly see AI and machine learning specialists, business intelligence analysts, data analyst and scientist. And this falls under a data analyst and data scientist. Recall that I mentioned that we used three key factors when we were dealing with how you can transition into tech. And that's what? Your ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and then in terms of rewarding salaries. And this report is just validating our own research. Again, a key point I mentioned is you always have to compare your output from any data-driven problem to what? Industry standards. And then there are scenarios whereby your results might actually be specific to that use case. So you can proceed with that in that scenario. But when you are generalizing, rather, when you are dealing with a bigger context, inclusive of, let's say, a larger population, you always have to compare your results to standards. And that's what we can see playing out here. Then we have what? We have our information security analyst. That's in terms of cyber security. Recall this was one of the skills that we saw in terms of your eight skills from our research. The next we have a data engineer, that's big data specialists, data engineers, database architects. Next slide. So we'll see these guys. Then we have our business analysts also. This is just validating the research that we carried out in reference to my point one, where I mentioned you need to learn skills that are in demand. Trust me, you can't overemphasize that. So proceeding also, we have the agile / scrum manager, we have data engineers and cybersecurity analysts again. Then we have financial analysts again, and then data analytics and data scientists. Guys, if you click on this link, you get access to this report. You can go over it and then read it in detail so you will know that, oh, this is actually documented. It's not something that we just cooked up. No, it is there. And recall that we have three criteria in terms of what? Ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and then in terms of a high and rewarding salary. Yes, there are other rules that we can see, right, in this report, right? But in terms of how fast can you learn them? Okay, so do you actually need like to segregate time in terms of like a year or a year plus before you can even cross the beginner level? Or are you going to effectively transition, or it's going to be difficult for you? Or, okay, is the pay high and all of that? These are the key metrics that we considered. Guys, point number one, I need you to repeat after me. Find a high demand skill. That's point number one. I'm repeating this again. If you're taking your notes down, find a high demand skill. And guys, my colleague Tommy Wire is sending a link to the chat. So if you fill the form, you get access to these slides and all of the points that I will be mentioning throughout. So what you need to do right now, just focus. All right, fill the form, that's the attendance form, and you'll be good to go. My next slide brings me to be intentional about learning the foundations. Be intentional about, this is very, very important. So last week we had a call about leveraging, that's one of our professionals spoke about leveraging AI as a data scientist. Okay, at the end of his session, I came up to speak and tell them that, guys, we are in a generation or a scenario whereby because there's so much accessibility in terms of our use of AI, people are relying so much on AI. And I need you to know that what we think as AI is just, that's what we use right now. That's large language models. It's just next token prediction. There are scenarios whereby the output that is being generated is flawed. So you would need your expertise as a data professional to come in and evaluate what's happening, except if, okay, with upgrades that we'll be having in the coming months as regards the big tech giants, then would see improvements in terms of the broader scope of artificial intelligence. But right now, it is necessary for you to learn the basics. Don't just say, oh, I just read an article as regards data science. All right, I know how to do everything. I will just go to ChatGPT or go to Gemini, or if I'm using Claude, I'll just type in my prompt and what? Generate my code and I'll be good to go. No, trust me, when you're working with your engineering team, they have like a full code base and everything is connected. You can't take your full code base and put it inside ChatGPT. That's you already breaching data privacy, and that is wrong. First thing first, find a high demand skill. When you have found what you are interested in that is of high demand, the next thing you should do, be intentional about learning, guys, because the knowledge would always reside up there. I can't come to you and then say that I'm going to take out the knowledge I have learned. I won't do that. I can't do that except if I'm a witch or something. That knowledge resides within you. You can see what I wrote here. Start with the basics. Moving to my next point. Work on projects. Guys, if you're on this call and by the end of this call, after all of the points that I have given you, you don't take it into consideration and then set it as your plan for 2025 to become proficient, then you have a problem. Me and you would need to table that problem so you get better or get serious with your life. Work on projects. Most times when people come to meet me as, oh, I want to be a data scientist, I've seen your profile, you did structural engineering, how can I learn so fast? All of that. The best decision I give them is working on projects would stretch you. If you've learned the basic, you've learned the foundation, that's awesome. That's good. Working on projects is going to stretch you because when in your team, when you are given a particular task, all right, there are sometimes when you have a bug and then you be on it for like the entire day and it's just so overwhelming. So you now have to take your time to research, to read, to go over people's previous codes on what they've done. Guys, instead of, I know right now some of us will just copy the error and paste it in ChatGPT and then get our outputs. I'm not saying that's bad. No, I'm not. But I need you to get an understanding behind that error. So when you see it next time, you will not just be autonomously depending on AI. Guys, number one is what? Find a high demand skill. Number two is what? Learn the basics. Very important. I need you to learn the basics. Number three, work on projects. This will not only help you grow, but this will be evidence that you actually know what you're doing. So if it's in terms of visualization with Tableau, with Excel, if it's in terms of your code or a diverse array of projects that you have across different sectors, this would help you grow. You can see my point here. This is the fastest way based off my own experience, guys. Somebody else can come and say something contrary, but this is what has helped me over time and I would recommend to you. So in your own journey, if you notice that, or probably looking up other people's code or reading Medium articles or going to Stack Overflow would help you grow, that's on you. But this is what has helped me. And I believe that if you would follow this strategy, it would help you too. Moving on to my next point, guys. Build a portfolio not just a resume or your CV. Okay, yes, you having a CV is very important. But if, let's say, I've invited you to an interview, like I've been in scenario, I've had the privilege of like interviewing a couple of guys, okay, for previous organizations I've worked on. I don't need you to tell me story because I have like other people on the line. I need you to give me evidence and be straight to the point. Yes, your CV, I could as well write on my CV that, oh, okay, I do this and I do this. And naturally, or let's say if I was a line type, that's not something that I've done before. But when I can see a portfolio that has the lists of the projects that you have worked on, the stacks, that's the tools that you use, that's just, I will know that, oh, this person is serious with life. Or I'm not just going to come and waste 15 minutes of my time interacting with you. This is very, very important. And this is something that I didn't really start early. I didn't really start pushing stuff to my portfolio on time. And this, I don't want you to make this same mistake. As you're learning, as you're working on projects, I want you to document it. Okay, because now when I speak or when I have the opportunity to like meet people from previously, they'll be shocked and say, oh, okay, Brima, you do this, Brima, you do this. And I'll be like, ah, something that I've been doing for a long time. But because I wasn't really loud about it, all right, there was no evidence. I think at that point, I was always of the opinion that I have so much to learn. I'm not there yet. I need to do this. And then fear of, oh, if I push this out, oh, people think, oh, they say, guys, take all of that and throw that in the bin. I know that sometimes it gets overwhelming when you come online and then you see a very, very cool dashboard and you know that your skill level is not up to that. The only difference between that skill level and you is a knowledge gap. And you can only close it by being consistent, working on projects. So as you are working on projects, I need you to be pushing that to the public. Okay, be documenting them so that there will be a track record of your growth. So imagine now in 2027, you look back at a project that you did that was documented not on your PC, but either if you're pushing to GitHub, that's good. If you have like your portfolio website, that's also good. You'll be happy that, oh, I have grown from being just conventional to what? To being a professional. Guys, find a tech skill that is high in demand. And then what? Learn the basics. Then you need to work on projects to get better and build a portfolio, not only a resume. Yes, you need to have a resume that would help you pass ATS and all of that, but you need to document your journey. Next slide. Before we proceed, are we good? Are we learning something new? Guys, have you left me on this call? I feel so alone. I feel so alone. Come on, I need reactions. I need to know that we are still here. All right. Thank you, guys. And again, you just need to fill the attendance form and you get the slides. So what I just want you to do right now is listen to the points I have for you and we'll be done with this call. Coming to my next point, I have create a digital footprint. Guys, again, you can be so good at what you do and literally nobody knows you exist. That's the truth. That's the reality of life. That is the reality of life. You can be so good and then it's all in your head. Even your contacts don't know that, oh, this person is a data professional. If I'm being practically honest, most of the roles that I have gotten, right? Even the contract project that I have worked on has mostly been by referral. I am being practically honest with you. Referral gets you right through the door compared to you just come to the interview to just say hi to your team lead and then the CTO and all of that. You're on the project. Because why? Somebody on the board has already said, I know Brima does this. And then she can jump on the call and work on this project. And if they want to validate that, they can just look me up on Google and my profile comes up. But you are on this call, you've been claiming data engineer, you've been claiming data scientist for how many years or how many months, and literally you are still scared to put that on your profile, even if you are a beginner, or literally you say you're just starting, so you don't want to delve fully into it. You can customize it, customize a headline that says journey to becoming a data professional or a data engineering professional, or find a way to rephrase that word rather, that it will be eye catchy. Again, you need to be loud, not really loud. There are some persons that are timid, or not really timid, but they don't really like talking a lot. That's their kind of person. That's good. But you can just post. You're not really talking, you're not joining a Twitter space or hosting sessions and all of that. You can just, oh, I worked on a project as regards this, and put it out. There's another key thing that I also want to mention. Don't posts, or don't wait for people's validations. I think that's something that also affected me earlier. All right, so when I send out a post, I'll go and check how many likes do I have, how many persons commented, all of this. No, 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 no. Just have the mindset that I'm creating a track record, the same way you have your portfolio and you're pushing stuff out. All right, it's the same way you are just creating a digital trail of what projects that you have done. This is very, very important, guys. You see the way I'm passionate about this, because this is something that I didn't do early. If you go to my profile, all of the dashboards that I have done, people that I have mentored, people that I have coached, you will not see them on my profile. That I did like 2 years ago. So except if now I want to do a throwback post, which I would do recently, I believe I'll do that very, very soon. Except if I want to do a throwback post, then I will not come and post it and say, oh, remember when I used to build dashboards and all of that? Well, that would have been posted like the time that I created or worked on that project. And it would just be there. So that when you need evidence, it's very important, because there are a lot of people claiming what they are not. If I can see a track record of what you have done, that gets you faster into the role. Guys, again, all of the steps that I have mentioned, building your resume, working on projects, being intentional about learning the basics, these are very, very, very what? Important. And then again, do not, or in this scenario, do not wait for people's validation. That's very, very important. Never prioritize doing the actual, that's never prioritize showing up in public. Oh, I want to post today. I said I will post today, and all of those frenzy. Don't prioritize that. Focus on, I am building, I am learning, I am intentional about upskilling. Yes, I have learned the basics, but now I want to gain expertise. And from my experience, guys, I have told you that working on projects gets you faster. So it's almost like it's a three-dimensional thing. You work on projects, you get experience, and then you can put that publicly as evidence. Guys, are we good? Are we good? Are we learning something from this call? Or you've left me? Or you've left me? I need a one in the chat, guys. Are we good to go? Have you left me, or you are still here? Have you left me, or you are still here? Awesome, 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 awesome. So proceeding with my slides. Now, I mentioned create a digital footprint already. And let's see. Now, coming to my next slide. Remember I mentioned that all you need to do is fill the form and you would get access to the slide. So all of the points I mentioned, they're not running away. They are here for you. And I have taken snapshots of my own experiences and placed it there for you to be intentional. So for your 2025 resolutions, for those of you that have resolutions that you know that naturally you don't meet, but you change this year, this coming year, you could just write them out and create like a plan that you would follow. Okay, so Tomiwa would be sending the link in the chat, right? So we can just, I'll give you a minute to fill the form before we continue. Now, coming back to my slides, the very first key point I mentioned was you getting what? Finding a high demand skill. So before we proceed, I just want to ask a question. Do we have beginners here, or we have persons on this call rather, that are already professionals, like you've done a course or two in data science, data analytics, project management, uh, cyber security? I need your responses in the chat. I need to know. Oh, Linda is saying that she's just a beginner. I like your name. Okay, well, coming back. Ibitue is saying, I just finished learning data analysis. Favor saying, I just finished a course in cybersecurity. Guys, I need more responses. Joseph is saying, that's Chisom is saying, I'm a beginner. Oh, nice. I just finished my cybersecurity training. All right, guys, I need our responses coming in. Remember, I said that I'll give you time to fill the form. So while this is coming in, we can fill the form before I proceed. Oh, Oluwajuwon, I believe I'm pronouncing that well, is saying I'm a data analyst. That's cool. I'm a data scientist. Ibito is saying, although I'm a beginner, but I do download data from Cargo to work with. That's awesome. Joseph is saying, oh, I'm a beginner. Nikki still taking my cybersecurity training. That's good. Phoebe is saying, I'm a virtual assistant. Oh, how nice. Data analyst. Okay, so I'll be coming back to my slides. Now, remember at the beginning of the call, I mentioned that we had specific tech career paths that are based off our research and based off validation from the World Economic Forum, right? We extracted those career path based off your ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and getting a job with an increased salary. So now you might be asking me a question. Even if you're not asking me the question, just know that this is your face. You're asking me this question. What are the job prospects for these high demand skills? So you know them. You understand that this is facts and not just some flawed, raw, unprocessed data that we just gathered. All right. First, we have data analytics, data science, data engineering. As a data analyst, if you're into data analytics, you can work as a product analyst, business intelligence analyst, supply chain analyst, procurement analyst, sales analyst, a lot more, guys. The very first thing is what? Ease of learning. That's what we look into. Ease of transitioning into what? A job, and then salary. You can see for data science and data engineering, right? You can see the different stacks that are here and the job prospects. You can work as a forecasting analyst. You can work as a quantitative analyst. So if you're on this call and you're trying to decipher, oh, what's data analytics, what's data science, and then what's data engineering, just picture this scenario. There are 4 stages of analytics. We have the descriptive analytics. We have diagnostic. Then we have prescriptive and predictive. Just follow me closely. It should not confuse you. It's very, very easy. So descriptive analytics, I have a problem. Let's say or my boss just called me that there is a decline in sales. So descriptive analytics is just basically answers the question, what has happened? That's descriptive. There was a decline in what? In sales. We know that that's the business problem. Now, that's the problem we have at hand, right? Then the next stage is, why did this happen? It's like you're from the word, you're trying to diagnose. It's like going to the hospital to do a checkup to understand what is currently happening. All right, so diagnostic analytics is the next stage that answers the question, what or why did this happen rather? Descriptive has helped us to see what has happened. Diagnostic helps us to understand why is this happening. Then prescriptive is like saying, after we've understood why there was a decline in sales, what should be the best course of action moving forward? All right, then predictive means, based off the past data that we've gathered over the years on our sales, how can we predict, how can we forecast what is going to happen in the future? So you as a data analyst, you're responsible for what happened, why did this happen, and then giving your visualizations or reports or documentation as regards that. But you as a data scientist, guys, you are majorly one of your core tasks that you'll be working on is what? Predictive analytics. That's why we have Python there. So you can, based off past trends that has happened in the past, you can predict. Okay, that's where machine learning comes into place. You can predict what will happen in the future. The data engineer is the guy that safeguards or provides you with what you need. That's the data. Is responsible for ensuring, for creating that database, for accumulating all of the resources you need, then giving you access to where your sales data is located. So you can now query. That's where SQL comes into place. Please don't leave me alone. Follow me. All these are just basic stuffs, right? The only reason you just need to close that knowledge gap and you'll be good to go. I know we have questions. We can send them in the chat and I would take them. So I can see from a response from Olawale, I just completed my data analytics course. I can see Favor, I just started working on a project. That's cool. Guys, continuing my slides, we have the business analysis and agile project manager. You can see the job prospects, guys. Recall that we had to do a thorough research. Next on my slide is cybersecurity in terms of you trying to defend the organization against attack, all those malwares and all of that. This is what the person is responsible for. And then you can see the different tools that they are supposed to learn in quotes. Moving to my slides, we have the HR analysis and financial analytics, and we can see the tools. So the big question now is, why are there so many tools? I don't know if you've asked that. There was a period in my life that I was like, geez, we have to learn SQL, we have to learn Python, we have to move on to machine learning, we have to go to unsupervised, and then we go to NLP and all of that. Why? How do I learn all of this in a short period of time? All of these tech stacks. Remember a point I mentioned. Projects. Working on projects would save it. It's almost as if it will give you a fast-tracked learning process after you've what? Gone over the foundations. Again, after finding the skill that you're interested in, what was my next point? You need to what? Learn the foundation. Then what? Work on projects. After working on projects, you can now start, or during the process of working on projects, you can now create your digital footprint, you can build your portfolio and all of that. Again, there's so many tasks. There's so many tools to learn, but what will fast track that learning process is working on projects. And guys, the reason why we are passionate about this here at Amdari, if you notice, this is another report that was carried out, all right, in terms of migration of workers. And if you see healthcare, and we scroll down, or I move my mouse to sub-Saharan Africa, what do you see? We have 29% of persons, of Africans working there. But if you come to information and communication, that's the tech sector, and then we're seeing just what? 6%. So that's telling you that there is a knowledge gap. All right, there's a big knowledge gap with the skills that are on demand and the skills that the current demography of Africans have. That is why it is necessary. You need to start early, because if you keep on procrastinating that, I have there are a lot of tasks. How do I learn this? How do I combine work and all of that together? I am always of the mindset that if you set a goal, you have to find a way around it. You have to create time. If it's, let's say, to short leave all of your conversations with people, or yes, it's important to relate with people, but there are some times where you just have to be conscious and then limit it so you can allocate at least an hour to learning. So imagine if for a week you have consistently devoted 1 hour to optimizing yourself. Guys, that's literally going to contribute to your own growth. Again, the only difference between who you are and those professionals that you see is just what? The knowledge gap. You just need to close it. This, I say this when I get to speak to people. It is not, I'm not motivating you. I refuse to motivate you. That's a you problem. I'm sorry. But it's just reality. That's just the truth. I can't come and take all of these skills and put it in your head. No, you need to learn. You need to devote yourself that, oh, I am going to be intentional. I've learned the basics. I want to upskill and all of that. We need to close this gap. And the earlier we do it, right, the earlier we move on from just, oh, we might go to the UK and it's just healthcare jobs, when we can learn skills that would make us proficient. If you are still with me, I need a yeah in the chat. Guys, why do I feel so alone here again? I need a yeah in the chat. Okay, thank you so much, Grace. I think Grace is my only friend on this call. Oh, Clement Chucks, thank you. I can see our responses. Let's keep them coming in so I know that I am not alone. All right. Okay, so if you are just joining in, I mentioned steps that you missed out. Trust me, you missed out a whole lot because I mentioned steps that you could strategically utilize to becoming a better tech professional. So all you have to do is fill the form, and then we'll be sending out the slides and the resources we used in this session to you. Now moving to my slides. If you're on the call again, you can see this meme that's looking at you. This is your expression right now that, oh, I know I'm a data analyst. I've gone through a foundational course. So I have crossed like the first step in terms of finding a tech skill and then learning the basics. But when I'm applying for roles and all of that, what I mostly see is they need me to get 2 to 3 years. They need 2 to 3 years experience working on diverse projects. What do I do to achieve all of this? If you're currently here and you're asking that question, trust me, for you to be asking that question, it means that you want to grow, you want to become better and all of that. So if you're currently here, you're asking this question, just follow me closely. We're almost done with this session and I would entertain our questions and we'll call it a day. So I think that you should copy the link out and then paste it in your browser. That's Ibitoye, and just refresh. That might just be like an interface error that you should just copy it, paste it on your browser and see if it will work. So Oluwajuwon, please don't crucify me for pronouncing your name wrongly. But Oluwajuwon is saying that that's him currently. So for you to be thinking about that, it means that you want to grow. That's just the truth. You've noticed that there's a gap between your current state and industry expertise. What you need to do, guys, follow me closely. And this is where Amdari comes into place. All right. Recall I mentioned that we are solving a very, very critical problem. We are trying to help close that gap. Guys, think about this. Follow my analogy or what we do here at Amdari. We have business partners that have problems. Okay, let's say in the organization they've noticed a particular error and they're trying to fix this problem. But since they are partners, what they do is they come to us with that problem that they are trying to find a solution to. We are the middleman here at Amdari. We call that our mission is what? Closing that technological expertise gap. So we as the middleman, we connect you with the tools, or rather the problems from these organizations, and then you work on them and gain expertise. Let me reiterate, guys, these are our business partners. Follow my slides closely. And then they have a business challenge or a business problem that they are trying to solve. Remember, the first stage of any data analytics project is trying to understand the problem that you're trying to solve. That's the basis before moving up to, oh, what's the next step in terms of, do we have the data to solve this problem? Okay, do we have specific requirements for our stakeholders? Are we meeting this specific requirement before you perform your analysis in terms of data cleaning and all of that, before you now try to solve the problem based on the insights that you've gathered from your data, and then communicating those insights to stakeholders. So in the very first stage, we're going to get these problems from our business partners, and then we anonymize them so you don't go and spy, right? And go and ask their colleagues that, oh, I have a project I'm working on that is relating to your organization. Tell me. No, you need to learn. You need to close that gap. And it's only when you are on the spot that is how you get better. Now, we take you guys, split you into groups. And the amazing thing about this is we have like a lot of persons from different time zones and different countries that you'd work with, so you'd get accustomed to diverse mindsets or diverse approaches to solving problems. Okay, now the next step is when you and your team, you guys have to collaborate, you have to have you need to have meetings, you need to critically discuss how you would solve the problem, because trust me, these are real world scenarios, and for each project it's a specific use case. You can't come and just guess and you get it correctly. No, we have to stretch you. That's the point of what we do here at Amdari. Then the next thing, when you are done with your elicitation, your root cause analysis, trying to ask why all of this is happening, you've done your data exploration, you're trying to visualize, trying to clean, trying to extract insights that would be the solution to that problem. You get to present this problem to us and the stakeholders. So we know that, oh, okay, you actually worked on this. Now, guys, in this process of you getting getting acquaintance with a particular problem and then working on teams and then presenting, what's happening there? You are gaining expertise. You are gaining experience. Recall a point I mentioned. Working on projects would get you faster. So now you come to us at Amdari and then you're working on different projects. You get what? A diverse range of expertise that would help you, that would propel you in your own career as a professional. And this project that you're working on, you have the liberty to what? Add this to your portfolio, and you also can place this on LinkedIn as your digital footprint. I say this a lot. The problem that Amdari is solving is almost like an all-in-one exclusive package, an exclusive gift to you as a professional, because then nobody told me this. I couldn't just come to like an organization and then they would give me projects. Where will you see that? Literally, you have to go and look up projects, or then you go to Kaggle, download data sets, try to come up with case studies, work on them, or you probably just go for hackathons and then you're on pressure and all of that. But Amdari is making this an exclusive package for you as a data professional. Moving to my next slide. Now, guys, another problem that Amdari is solving for you. Listen to me carefully. You know, naturally, when you are job hunting, trust me, that's a very, very emotional, draining process. You'd either have to set up a notification on LinkedIn or Indeed, that's go to Glassdoor or Google Jobs. That's if you are the kind of person that wants to work remotely. Okay, even hybrid or physical, right? You have to go through this and then search for jobs. What Amdari is solving for you, guys, we
Hi everyone, good evening. Okay, so Brima would be back shortly. I think she's having issues with her network. So she'll be back with us shortly. I hope you can hear me. Yes, Favor, her network is bad, but she'll be joining us shortly. So let's just give her like a minute to join back. Thank you. All right, but I hope you guys are having fun and I hope the session has been very impactful. If you've been, enjoying yourself and it's been impactful for you, can you just give me a thumbs up? Thank you, Clement. So I see the thumbs up and all the reactions. Thank you. Okay, great, Anna. All right. So she's also going to, give room for people to ask questions and she'll take your questions. And I think she's back. Hi Brima, can you hear us? Okay. We can't hear you, you're still muted.
Oh, shush. Sorry. Apologies for that, everyone. I believe network threw me out, or I don't know, there was just a shutdown. But let me share my screen and it'll be good to go. Yeah, so while I was joining, Omomi mentioned as regards you having questions. So yes, at the end of all of this, I need to get your questions, your opinions, and then you get like answers to all of that. Okay? So now let me just share this tab and confirm that you can see my screen. And the reason why you're just hearing about data is because I am a data scientist. We offer the cybersecurity program also here at Amdari. First things first, this is the job board that I was referring to. So when I come here and I search for, let's say, because I'm a data scientist, I have to be biased. I'm sorry, right? Data scientist, and then enter. I don't know, but I'm having a bit network lag, but yeah, I probably will have to refresh this. But on your end, when you come to our job board and then you are signed in for our program and you just type the particular role that you're looking for, like it gets what's filtered at. So right now we can see we have senior analyst data scientist, junior data scientist slash analyst. All right. So instead of you having to individually go through this tabs, individually go through these organizations that's go to LinkedIn, go to Indeed, go to Glassdoor, and then start looking for jobs and all of that. We have an all-encompassing platform that you just need to type in your particular skill or the particular role that you're applying for. Then, very first thing, check if or tailor your CV, right, to the job description so you can pass ATS because nobody manually looks through your CV. All right. And then you apply for that job. So this saves you that stress. And then again, guys, there's another key thing that Amdari does for you. So I'm just going to click on my portfolio. I hope network doesn't really lag this time. Awesome. And then I click on my portfolio site. You recall this portfolio site you saw on my slide. This is another advantage that Amdari gives you. So instead of you going to look for a developer that you manage and then you give them specifications and all of that in terms of how to create your site rather, all you need to do, you just need to fill in a form with the details. That's what your name is, what you do, then your image, the years of experience, the tools you work with, your project, and then an about session. If you notice, I can edit this, right? I can type this in and I'm good and update this, right? If I scroll down, you notice this is like a billboard that is showing, oh, I am available for opportunities. Then I can upload my
Hi Brima, are you there? Right, Ibitoye. The devil is really a liar because I think Brima is having another network challenge. Brima, can you hear us? Okay, guys, please let's give her like a minute or so. Should be back shortly. So, but I think she's already rounding up, so she'll just make it quick so she can take your questions and let you know how you can also benefit from Amdari. But from everything she has said regarding gaining experience, working on projects, building in public, that is putting yourself out there, your digital footprints, saying so much about who you are professionally, right? So which of these are you already doing? Can you type it in the chat? Which of these are you already doing? Is it that you've gained the skill? Is it that you're already working to put yourself out there by posting? Like, are you posting already? Have you worked on projects? Which of these are you already doing? I would love to see this in the chat, please. So I have my eyes glued to the chat. So which are you already doing? Which are you not doing yet? Okay, so Clement is currently taking the course. I hope it's one of the in-demand skills that Brima mentioned. So I hope it is. Benjamin says he's still learning. If it's one of the skills that Brima mentioned, you can just give me a thumbs up. If it falls under data science, data analytics, that's for everyone who is just learning. Data engineering, cybersecurity, business analysis. If it's not, you can type what you're studying, right? Or learning rather. Then okay, great. So you're learning one of the skills under, the in-demand career path. All right. Ibitoye says, I just finished learning data analysis. Okay, analytics rather. Okay, so have you worked on any projects? Ibitoye, you can type that. Have you worked on any projects yet? Then Afi says, I just finished my cybersecurity training. Awesome. Have you worked on any project? Clement says cybersecurity, amazing. Grace said she hasn't started yet, meaning you've not taken any course, you've not trained or anything like that. Christy says, I have not started. Okay. Sadiq says, I have not been able to start. Okay. Oh, I have not been doing anything. Okay, I think you should already start, because the best time to start is actually now. So don't procrastinate. Make sure you start 2025 strong by learning one of the skills that Brima has touched based on, and really, gone full-fledged on that. Then Benjamin says, yes, I'm still learning data science. I am currently taking a course. Okay, so I see a couple of people are still learning, while some people are done learning. And for the people who are done learning, are you ready to start working on projects, or are you ready to land an internship, like apply for an internship and see how that can properly prepare you for your next job in tech? So which of these is it for you? So are you working on projects? I know Clement, is it Clement? Yes, Clement has learned the skill. No, Clement is still learning. Yes, I just remembered. Okay, still reading the chat. Done with the course. That's Oluwajuwon. I need to work on projects. Awesome. So you see, Juwon is someone who already has his roadmap set and clear. Okay, Brahma is back, so I'll just allow her continue to do her thing. Hello, Brahma, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear it clearly. So honestly, guys, apologies. I had to swap my network provider again. I really don't know what's happening. But before we proceed, are we good, or are we pissed? Are we annoyed with me? I need a response in the chat. Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? Have we gotten value from the beginning of this session till now? I know we have a lot of questions. All right. And I am going to try my very best. I will provide answers to those questions. So are we good to go, or are we pissed? I'm honestly sorry. I don't know what's happening. I've had to swap multiple times and it keeps shutting me out. I think it's the weather though. Yes, exactly. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. We'll come to this place to get the value that we actually want. For you staying from the beginning of this call till this time, it means that you are really intentional about what? About leveling up. So coming back to my demo, I just mentioned that what you need to do is copy this profile. And if I send it to the chat now, you can just view this. Okay, so this profile stays with you and for you as long as as long as you signed up with Amdari. Now, guys, remember I mentioned that, let me just go back to my slides, that Amdari is an all encompassive project, or rather, we are solving a problem that we noticed has been continuous in our African society. So what we do is you get access to real world projects that we get from our partners. That's one. Then aside, I'm always of the opinion that irrespective of your technical skills, there's another side. You need to communicate with stakeholders. You need to be efficient in terms of presentation of your reports and your results and all of that in your work, in your day-to-day activities. So you can see, aside your project-based experience, you also get what? Employability skills. Now, One of the key things is what? A job board, your portfolio. Trust me, you don't want to get a developer to build your website for you. In this age that we are in, you're going to pay a lot of money for management, for updating it could be like on a yearly or on a quarterly basis. With that, and then we have like a one-on-one CV review session where you come meet with a professional. They have a walkthrough of your CV and you discuss how you can optimize your CV. So when you're, let's say, applying for jobs, right, you know what to do so you can pass ATS and get your leg in through the door for what? For that interview. Then also we have a LinkedIn optimization session. Guys, LinkedIn is like a platform whereby any recruiter can come search for what you do. Nobody knows. Remember my point, you can be so good at what you do and nobody knows that you exist. There's some persons that have never posted on LinkedIn. They don't even have a portfolio or a profile there and they feel it is literally irrelevant. If you're on this call, just know that me and you, we're going to have a very, very detailed quarrel because that's not good. There's no footprint of, oh, if I go to Google and search for your name, am I going to see you? All right. Then we have our interview prep session, access to a remote job reference, which is very important because when you get past the interview stage, they would want to see what you have done previously. All right, where you have worked, and if they can attest to the value that you'll be bringing to the organization that you're working with. And all of this is inclusive or it's embedded in our internship program. Guys, let me share my screen so that we'll understand this. Let me share this tab. If you, let's say, go to Google and you search for Amdari, right? The first link, just click on it. It takes you to this board. That's this page. And you'd see Rave by Amdari. I know Rave seems weird, but follow me closely. Rave is just an acronym for Remote Apprenticeship Virtual Experience by Amdari. Okay, and our goal is to help you level up, help you go up the ladder by working on what? Projects. So we are not coming here to teach you, oh, okay, this is what you need to do as a cybersecurity analyst, or this is what data analysis mean, or this is how to use Python. No, we're not doing that for you. If, let's say, you're an absolute beginner, we have a one-on-one clarity session that you can jump on, and then we speak to you as regards necessary strategies on how you can learn and how you can upskill. But Amdari is centered around what? You've learned the basics. There are a lot of training platforms out there. You've learned, you've understood the foundations. What you need to do now is work on diverse projects. So if I come and click on register now, okay, and I scroll all the way down, you'd see there's what? HR analytics, data science. Let me just confirm that we are good to go. All right. Okay, this is the tab. Let me scroll down. You'd see what? Data engineering, cybersecurity career experience, financial analytics, business analysis, and project management. Guys, again, I'm a data scientist, so I'll be biased. I'm sorry. Right, I'll click on apply now. When you click on apply now, just scroll down. In detail, when you come to us to gain experience, we are not employing you as an intern. That's not what is stated in your contracts. You're going to be registered as a data science consultant. So if you are, let's say, in HR or project management and all of that, your JD, your contract would be HR what? Analytics consultant. So not just an intern. So when you place that on your CV or when you're asked a question, because that's one thing I have noticed. Most times we know the tools. We know what Power BI is for. We know what SQL is for. But when I ask a question, walk me through a project that you have done. All right, I want to see your thought process. I want to see the strategies you implemented and all of that, right? This is what Amdari would save you because you have collaborated, you've worked on projects. So we have like a 3 to 6 months internship span. Right? You're working with us as a consultant. We get these problems from our business partners, and then you, as a staff currently working with us during your internship process, you get to work on this project and you get experience. So irrespective of your current career status, trust me, you're going to be stretched. That's just it. You're going to work on projects and you don't have a choice, right? You don't actually have a choice. You must learn, because I am of the opinion that the level of mediocrity is just too much, right? We are always talking about, oh, we want to do this, we want to do this, and all of that, but we need to be intentional about what? Acquiring this skill, guys. It is important, and don't go with the opinion that your background. Trust me, when I hear that, I normally get pissed. Your background doesn't really matter. Okay, that shouldn't stop you from becoming the best version that you want to be of yourselves. Now, coming back to my slide, guys, this is the special offer that we have for you for our remote apprenticeship virtual experience program. That's our internship program. Okay, so we are taking in a new batch of interns that will be working with us as consultants. You see the list of programs that we have on our website. That's as regards data analytics, data science, data engineering, HR analytics, financial analytics. There's a link that will be shared. All you have to do is click on it. And we have a deadline that is slated for this Sunday. I believe today is 14th, so that would be in my calendar. Yeah, that's tomorrow. So we are taking in our interns in preparation for January, because it's the start of the year. Everybody has goals, they have resolutions, and we want to ensure that you are right on track to join in by January. And now this comes at a discounted cost of $300. That's in place of $400 for our international experience, and then 300,000 naira in place of in place of 400,000 naira for our Nigerian experience. Guys, recall that we are helping to solve a problem. So you are coming to register and sign up with us. You get access to our platform, the projects that are currently in our platform. You get access to your portfolio, your job board, your review sessions, your internship sessions, and all of that. Okay. And if you are wondering the difference between, let's say, the international experience and the Nigerian experience, it's in terms of your reference letter. You can see clearly, this is highlighted. You have like a 2-year span international work reference letter. Then you have just 1-year span work reference letter. So in the next 2 years, that would be 2027. So long, that's between now and 2027. If you are registered for the international experience, you can apply for like jobs. And if all of them require a reference letter, okay, you can come to us and then we'll testify that you actually are, again, I'm a data scientist, a data science consultant with us, and we will validate that and give you Amdari's stamped international reference letter. And the amazing thing is you can pay in 2 installments, because we are running a 25% discount compared to the $400 and the 400,000 naira that we have for the Nigerian experience. So guys, recall that we are solving the problem of trying to help you acquire in demand skills. And we have this deadline slated for the 15th of December, and we are taking our last batch. So we just have 15 slots left for January and we'll be good to go. So I believe my colleague will be sending in some messages in chat in case you have questions and all of that as regards payment. But coming back to our session, guys, do we have questions? I know in our conversation with Omowumi, some persons mentioned they had questions, they wanted to say something. So this is the very best time for you to say that. And I want to mention, if you are just starting out in your journey, Amdari is actually not for you. I'm being practically honest with you. Amdari is for persons that have learned the foundations, and then you come up to us, we help you get from that beginner foundational level to being what? An experienced professional via the projects that you work on while you're with us. So what we can do for you is you can join our one-on-one sessions, and then we'll have professionals there that would advise you as what to do or how you can start your journey. But and Dari's goal is you moving from being just another professional, just another tech bro out there, to being an actual, in quotes, tech bro. So guys, please, can this date be extended? Just hearing it for the first time. That's a very critical question, Ibito. I think what you can do, send a message to Tomiwa. I believe Tomiwa will be sending some, and also there's a message as regards the one-on-one. That's the link to book like a clarity call. I think you should click on that, have a conversation with our reps, and then we'll see what we can do. But the year is closing, and we need to, you've worked so much this year, you've coded, and then you've done a lot. We need to go on a break in preparation for January. That's why we're closing up early. So what you can do is just send a message to Tomiwa, or click on the link that Omawumi is providing in the chat, and we can follow up that conversation from there. Okay, Omawumi already responded to Oma's question. Guys, I can see some person's hands up. Do we want to type it in the chat, or we want to speak up? What about people that already have the experience in DevOps and data engineering, but just need the opportunity for a job role? Okay, so now, because I mentioned that we don't just have the technical skills side, we have the employability side as regards to your portfolio, your LinkedIn session, your CV review session, and your coaching and all of that. So do you have like, I believe the question I'll be throwing back to you is, do you have a balance of both? Again, you can be so good at something and literally nobody knows that. That might be one of the factors that will be contributing to you not getting a job. And then again, what is the frequency at which you apply for jobs? So are you talking about getting jobs without actually applying for a job? And then we have a job board that you can just go there and then look up the job that or the role that you're looking for. Okay, so Noah is saying you have categorically shut beginners out. Oh my goodness, what can you do? What do you have for newbies intending to tread these waters? So Noah, I believe that's correct pronunciation. What I would recommend for you, among me sending a link for the for the one-on-one, that's a Calendly link. I need to click on it because you need to first find the role that you are interested in. Okay, you need to have like a series of questions and interactions to decide that, oh, this is the role that I will be moving with. This is what I want to do. And this should not be based off bias, but based off what you really are interested in, before we can now advise you on how you can proceed with learning. Okay, so I believe that you need to go through that one-on-one sessions first. All right, so you can get, so it's not as if it's because your friend was doing cybersecurity, that's why you went there, or because somebody said data science was the next big thing, that's why you went there. Okay, so this has to be solely, what's the word, intrinsic motivation coming from inside. So let's see. I have another question. Does the internship cover specific domain knowledge? Specific domain knowledge, that's an open-ended phrase. I need you to be, again, specific about that. In my previous slide, I mentioned that we cut across different programs, and then we have projects from energy to, let's say, to banking, to finance, to entertainment on a platform. Okay, so what I want you to do now is go to Amdari and then just sign up first of all and look at the free projects that we have. So you see the diversity there. And registered as an intern, that's via the rave with us, you would get you get access to all of those projects first of all. That's aside what's your normal internship procedure, where we would be drilling you with your interview sessions, your employability, and all of our coaching sessions. Okay, so is that clear, Samson? That question was from Samson. David is saying, aside from experience gains during the internship, is there any remuneration? No, No. For this current batch that we are taking, so we made payments for the first batch of, I believe we are currently having their placements right now. Okay, the first batch of interns that we had, we placed them in organizations and then they are working with them. So the batch that we have now is because of the fact that a lot of persons are actually not skilled enough to work in this organization. So it's almost as if we are shooting ourselves back in the leg. Okay, so you need to move up from what you think is actual industry experience to being a professional. So no, we are providing you a lot of value and it comes at just a discounted price of 300,000 naira. Come on. So next question. Noah is saying cybersecurity, it is ... for me. For you to have ... there, I think there's a problem. Okay. Noel, again, I want you to click the link that has to do with the Calendly. Then I want you to join in or send a message because you deciding your tech career path is necessary. So initially, I started with software engineer. I started learning the very first thing you need to learn is HTML. So I moved on from HTML. I think it was when it was getting to CSS or something or C plus. I can't really remember that. I said that, please, my hands are up. This is not for me. And luckily, I now saw something relating to data science. So you picking the skill that you want, because that's what will influence your decisions in life, is a very, very critical decision. So I think that, or not really think, I recommend that you should click on the link and join the session. So do we need to come with just only overlearning skills experiences? Then Dari does the magic that is spells with things and the rest goes on. So that's from Benjamin. Now, in providing clearer context, you need to have learned, if you are a data analyst or a data engineer, you need to have learned the foundations. Again, Amdari doesn't teach you the basics, how to use Power BI, do you know what DAX functions are, how to open Excel, how to write hello world code in Python. We don't do that here. You have learned the foundations. What you are just doing is, when you come to us, we split you for a particular project, we split you, or if it's, let's say, a solo project, you get to work on that and then you gain expertise. Now, Nikki is saying, could this also be termed a boot camp? A boot camp is rather related to a training that's been offered for is a period of time. So now this is you coming to sign a contract with us. You know, a training, you're coming to, let's say, learn a skill from the beginning and then it's the end, right? But you are signing a contract that you are employed with us as a, in quotes, data science consultant or HRO consultant or FA, that is financial analytics consultant, and you get your offer letter, and from there we'll proceed to the next steps of the training. And not to mention the fact that we also offer you employability sessions, which a conventional boot camp would not do for you. Now, let me see. Secondly, I want to register, but I would hope to join the February cohort. Will the discount still stand? Benjamin, with all due respect, are you from the East? Or you're just a person that is very, very strategic about payments? I need to know. Okay, because from your question, we have this discount open till the 15th of September, except if, which I believe will not happen, if management, that's the finance team, and then in charge of regulations decide to extend it. But right now, this is what we have, the 15th of December. And then again, there's a contact that is being dropped in the chat. I believe that you should send a message and then follow up with that discussion, so they will provide you a better clarity and better context. That's why I recommend you. So that team will provide you better context as to how to proceed. That's for Benjamin. Olawole Bakari is saying, is the internship going to require physical presence? No. It's virtual, right? It's a remote apprenticeship virtual experience program by Amdari. That's the RAVE by Amdari. So Miriam is saying there are a lot of questions. Oh my goodness, I'm confused. I'm going to gain the experience. I see body fair is choking. I don't know if I mentioned this, but Miriam, if you come to my slides, you have 3 instrumental payments available. So you can pay 100, 100, 100, split it in 3 places. Or if it's in dollars, you can pay $100, $100, $100. So you have like the liberty to split it into 3 payments. So I hope that answers your question, Miriam. I hope you're good to go. Then in terms of, let's see, for those people who already paid so much to learn the course, don't you think the cost of the internship is on the high side? Charity, we are providing you so much value that you won't get anywhere. So Charity, I want you to do a research. If you have a web developer as a friend of yours, I want you to contact them on building your portfolio website. Just ask them and tell them to give you the cost of that. So you know that we are doing so much for you. Exclusive job board alongside the projects you'll be working on, and then again your portfolio site and access to projects and employability sessions for just that amount, and we're giving you at a discount. Charity, come on, let's be frank and fair right now. This is worth it actually. No Ibitoye is going to be online. Do you guys interview us after we apply to see if we are good enough to go before we are paired? That is where the one-on-one session comes in. Okay, Amomi has been sending a link in the chat, right, for the one-on-one session. I want you to click on it and register for it. Okay, so any help in place to assist or guide someone, not sure what part to take. Samson, I need you to click on. See, the one-on-one session, the clarity session, that's what's called a clarity session. You come on the call, you speak to the professionals we have on that call, you interact with them and decide, oh, this is my current skill level. This is what I know. This is my experience so far. What do you think is the best course of action? And based off the factors that you've presented to us, would provide you with advice. All right, I hope that is clear, Samson. That's why it's very, earlier when somebody mentioned, I stated that if you don't have a particular career that you're working, that you are in right now, it is choosing your career path is like choosing or it's like choosing a life partner. Let me put it that way. You have to be very, very careful because that's a critical decision moving forward for the next trajectory of your life. That's what you'll be doing. I love being a data scientist, and that's why I am still here. So if, let's say, you choose a career based off bias and other factors that you're not really going to stick with for the next years, that's just a waste of resources, your time, your money. That's not worth it. Okay, so we are in like a generation, or will I say a scenario right now where time is very important. Okay, that's why I need you to click on the link and join in. Let me see the questions that we have. What time is convenient for the call? Please just send. When you click on the link, you would see the schedule and then you see the available times and you can book. Okay, so it's that easy. Just click on the link and select a time that works for you. All right, so it's already predefined by the consultants that we have, and they would get to speak to you as regards what your next line of action is. So guys, do we have any more questions? Or if not, we are calling it a day. Yeah, remember I mentioned this session is just like 1 hour, 30 minutes, and we are done. The entire goal is for me to share my experience with you at how best we can help you move on from being average to be a professional. And then secondly, tell you about, because a lot of persons don't know what Amdari, don't know that, oh, a platform like Amdari exists. So Sadiq, let's see, let me scroll back up and try to find your question. Okay, I think I missed that out. I have skills on Cisco networking, and I am hoping to add cybersecurity to my skills. I hope those skills does not contradict each other. Now, Sadiq, I want you to click on the link for the clarity session. It's very, very important because long term, we need to ask you more questions as regards, oh, why exactly did you go for the Cisco networking course? And then why are you interested in cybersecurity? Is there an intersection of both scenarios that you'll be looking to take in the future? Remember, the whole context of data now is to understand the problem, understand the current status, understand what has happened, and then we get to make decisions. We derive insights based off that. That is why we're emphasizing on the fact that if you are currently at a stage whereby you are unclear or you don't know what to do right now, click on the link. You get to, this is a general call, so we have everybody here, but then you get to speak to the professional and you get to decide what the next line of action is. So Sadiq, does that answer your question? Olawale is saying, please, is it possible to get the full recording for the call? That's the answer to that question. There is an attendance form there. Yeah, so Tomiwa just sent it to the chat again. Just fill it. The entire resources for this call, the slides would be sent to you. All right, I'm not going to hold back the slides. No, this is something that I really, in quotes, preach. I preach the fact that you don't need to have the mentality or the mindset that, a CS degree gets you into tech. No, there are a lot of outstanding professionals that didn't really do anything related to tech, and they're thriving now. So you just have to go through the growth process. Okay, so guys, do we have more questions? Or are we good? Are we good? So the attendance form is in the chat to get access to these slides as one. Then if you need to obtain clarity, you're unsure of what to do moving forward, I need you to click on the Calendly link that was sent in by Omowumi. Or if you want to send a message on WhatsApp, there was also a contact that was sent in that you can use. All right, guys. So do we have any more questions? I think I have a question for everyone. Did you gain value from this session? Did you gain value from this session? All of the points I listed out, are you going to work on it moving forward? I need to know. Guys, it's very, very important. Learn the foundations. Work on project. If you didn't finish learning the foundations, go back. I'm telling you now, it is necessary, because once you've gone past that stage and then you're working, right, you have to deliver like a project in a short period of time, and then you'll be so tense, there will not be enough time to research here, and all of that. So it is necessary. Then again, I mentioned what? Work on projects, create a digital footprint, right? And while you are doing that, never, ever, ever prioritize showing up in public without doing the work. So it's almost as if you're painting a picture that is not really who you are. So when I call you for a job, you can't really deliver all of the frenzy, all of the traffic that I am seeing in your profile. No, that's even worse than not having a profile. Okay? So guys, I hope we learned a lot. I hope we are good to go. If we don't have any more questions, we will be calling it a day. Yeah, I need a one in the chat if we are ready to enjoy our Saturday night and we are good to go. Guys, I need the reaction. I need the one in the chat. I need something. You need to give me validation now. I think that I'm alone here. I need to give me proof that you have learned something. Oh, all right. I can see Ifoma, that's from, I recall that name. Oh, nice to see you on the call too. So guys, if you don't have any more questions, we'll be calling it a day. We've sent in links, we've sent in contacts that you can reach out to if you want to upskill and set your goal for the next quarter. So guys, it was nice having you on the call. I believe you learned a lot. Trust me, you have to learn a lot. It's compulsory right now. Okay, so cheers and have a wonderful evening. All right.